a home game does not an actual play make?
Oh shit, did I mess up?
Why didn't I think of it? Let's talk about TTRPG actual plays while I make this Lego.
It's not like I'm trying to be sponsored, but hey, if anybody notices, well and good, I wouldn't mind it. So TTRPG actual plays are a kind of topic which isn't really talked about in popular media, because I don't know if people don't consider it actual media or they just consider it to be hobby. I think I just destroyed the packaging. Who cares? Who needs the packaging anyway? There are a lot of pieces. Jesus. So as far as actual play goes, I'll tell you what it means from a filmmaker's perspective, at least my perspective. So actual play is kind of a story that is told through the mechanics of improvisation, made in a sandbox setting kind of way. An actual play is kind of like a table read which is improvised, and the script is improvised and it's recorded. I guess that's how one would put it, because you have people putting on characters. You have a narrator who's taking you through the script. So yeah, that's how I usually put it. It's like a podcast, but it's actually a table read. But it's improvised. It's not entirely scripted like a table read. So if the community episode, which was done via Zoom, if it was improvised, then I would consider it kind of like an actual play if there was some sort of mechanic involved in it. Not just a yes and, but you also add but how and why, and all of these questions you also add to them, and it makes up a whole story. So if you can add those mechanics to it, I think that would be turned into an actual play. Now, traditionally, and I say traditionally because actual play is like a pretty new medium, or at least what I feel. I think Dr. Emily Friedman, if you're watching, you could tell me more about it if I'm actually wrong. Critical Role popularized it, but it wasn't the first. I haven't researched it, so I don't know. When I first saw it, I think back in 2014 or 2015, I was really confused what they were talking about, and I didn't know it was like a fantasy setting. So if I knew it back then, I probably would have gotten into D&D and other TTRPGs, a long time ago. But I didn't, and I don't regret it. Now let me see where these pieces go. Yeah, the bodies are really all over the place. Maybe I'll leave this portion for later, and I'll open this one, I guess. Critical Role was mostly a home game which was then recorded and put online, or rather it was live streamed, and that's what the majority of actual play still looks like. It's a streamed game. That's it. Sometimes there may be maps involved, music involved, maybe a cutscene involved, but for the most part, most of the actual plays that you will see, whether it's from Dimension 20, Tales of the Valiant? No, Theater of the Unaligned, Legend of Avantris, High Rollers, most of it is like you can generalize the format into like, hey, this is a traditional way, like how you would put maybe a 3-act structure in a film. Then there is something, I'm forgetting the terms for some reason. I'll put it over here, hopefully, because my brain is currently focused on this. Usually, I've seen people, put TTRPG actual play in a similar box to these actual plays that I actually mentioned. And most of the stream games, a lot of them are also follow the same routine or the same format. And I feel maybe that's the reason, not that's the only reason, but that's one of the reasons that most of them don't have an audience. And I'm not blaming them. Some of them tell really, really good stories. And I'll shout out Dark Waters. I admit that I haven't seen all of it, but whenever I've heard them talk about it or whatever little I've seen, I feel like, oh, there's a nice story unfolding. The audience usually doesn't grow because, one,
or one is because of the time investment that is needed. Even for a critical role, a lot of them tune in for the full 4 hours of stream that they do, but most of them would actually watch it either in parts, or they would watch a highlight or a abridged version of it, or read about it. So I don't know if like long form actual play, long form as in like a single session being a certain hour, certain few hours length, would be a viable option long term for an actual play to grow. If you're doing it for fun, if you're doing it for yourself and for your friends, that's a completely different matter. Have fun with it. Make it silly, make it serious, make it horny, make it sad, whatever.
I think if you want to take it to the next step, there has to be some sort of change, or there has to be some sort of
different approach to the whole thing.
I'm not saying this as like an expert on making actual plays. I've made only a few of them, most of them being podcasts, only the God Killer Kismet actual play being something that I really experimented with. And that's what I feel about generally about actual plays, that there's a whole host of things that people can experiment with. Even as far as animation goes, I haven't seen any serious animations with and how it can be explored with an actual play using a particular RPG which it can fit with. I haven't really seen something be used to a serious effect. So correct me if I'm wrong. So that's another medium that I feel that can be explored. Even with live action actual plays, just sitting around table, well and good. But how else can you do it? Is there a way to do it which would be fun, one for the players, the GM, and the audience as well? Maybe a great race type of format would work. I don't know. I'm just speculating. I'm just another guy on the internet talking shit. There's a whole host of things that can be experimented with. It's Mozzarella. Posted or made an actual play about trucking. I'm forgetting the actual the name of it, but I'll link it down in the description and in the comments. Go check it out. It's amazing. I love what Mozzarella has done with it, and I feel like they have like really explored like, okay, how good it can look, feel, and sound. This Lego piece is almost done, and that tells how fast I am. And it's not always about the nat 20 or the nat 1 or the failures or the overkill. Sometimes it's just about chilling and seeing, friends have fun. It's absolutely fine. I'm not critiquing. I'm not trying to critique like, hey, don't do 4-hour long actual plays. By all means, do it. Have fun with it. What I'm saying is, if you actually want to explore the realm of actual plays, like there's a lot of things that can be done, and there's a lot of things that I feel like people should do more of. Experiment with it. Even with audio only actual plays, the podcast, the TTRPG podcast that we listen to, like really experiment with it. The Heart is a Dungeon does really well with how they utilize sound design and storytelling techniques to do it. So filmmakers, if you're still around and if you're still listening, explore, like make a filmmaking language. It doesn't have to always follow a format. We already have a language for a certain type of actual play in the form of CR, D20, and these companies who make actual plays. Now it's time to do more. Like you have with Worlds Beyond Number, it's not really about mechanics. It's about you telling a story. It's a lot like proper audio drama, sound design audio drama. Likewise with like I said, Heart is a Dungeon. With Game Master Mondays, it's about exploring these different actual plays with every episode. You have a certain cast of characters who always come on and play through, discuss how to play this, and then they play it. Yeah, there are different formats. I really like Game Master Mondays format. I'll admit I don't listen to a lot of D&D podcasts. I'll admit it. To my dear actual play producers, don't just stick to the current formula. Try to explore. It is a risk. I'll admit it is a risk. Sometimes you won't find an audience. Sometimes the audience will suck. Sometimes they will say, oh, what shitty thing you have produced. And it's all right to suck.
That's the thing. It's alright to be shitty. It's alright to make bad art. Make bad art. You're still making art and you're still creating stuff which in the future people might reference to how to do things, how not to do things, or to take lessons from this. Don't do this and maybe experiment a little more with this. Things like that. It's not bad to be bad. I know I have run bad games, but that led me to running good games. I know that I've been a bad D&D player, but that has led me to become a good D&D player. You cannot get it right from the get-go. Even Critical Role didn't really start with like these beautiful studios, right? They were just in a room, bad audio, and just a map drawn on a piece of paper with unpainted minis. That's good enough to start. Just start. And once you've done maybe a few 4-hour actual plays, experiment, do something else, try something. Hey, what else can we do? Have fun with it. Obviously, I keep saying have fun with it. I know it takes a lot of work. God knows Kismet took a lot of work out of me. God, I have been burned. That's why I'm here making Legos and not creating a beautiful, documentary style video for you. Use me as an example. I know Kismet's not the best actual play out there is. I know it could have been better. I know it could have been different. But I'm still happy with how it turned out to be. I had a lot of different things planned with how Kismet could be actually be presented, with closed captions, with more visuals, maybe with animatics, with maps, all of these things, with more art out there to actually engage you in it. I know I didn't do the entire thing. I wanted to have more original music in it, maybe like lyrical songs even. It did have, but those are licensed songs. I didn't get there 100%, but I have taken learnings from Kismet with scheduling, with storytelling, with dramaturgy. Go listen to C Thomas talk on any interview podcast about dramaturgical approaches to things, and they will give you some really good insights. Talk to people who run actual plays, listen to their podcasts, because there are a ton of interview podcasts out there about people running actual plays. Go to Many-Sided Media, they have a lot of great interviews. Listen to the Infinite Tavern, which is still on a hiatus, but we're trying to get back. Go listen to Classic Sam on Twitch. Go listen to Dicey Banter. Go listen to Diversity Saves Community Showcase. Even Rainbow Rolls podcast. All of these people. Go listen to Shelly Von Miller. I know I've been on all of these podcasts. That's why I'm hyping them up. Go listen to Zeal Zaddy, DnDark, and their podcast, and how they talk to people who produce these games, produce these actual plays. Talking and learning will help. I know there's not a lot of videos out there on YouTube on actually how to produce an actual play podcast. Most of them are about GMing, playing, designing games. I feel like there should be more. Most of them you'll see about, okay, how does Brennan Lee Mulligan GM? How does he prepare his notes? How does Matt Mercer prepare these characters? How does Abria flow through cinematic storytelling, which is great advice. They're still like paid people running it for entertainment for the masses. Most of us, and I say it with honesty, most of us won't be able to reach there. I'm not saying even I will be able to reach there. I would want to, it would be nice, but I'm not, holding out hope for it. And it would be nice to have more people talk about how do you, just like there's so many tutorials on how to write a good story for an actual play, because a home game does not an actual play make. Most of the home games will suck as an actual play. I'm so sorry to say it, but they might not work for it. But similarly, a lot of actual plays might not work well as a home game. God Killer Kismet will suck to run and facilitate as a home game, because it wasn't set out to be a story which would work well in a home game, because one, it would take a lot of scheduling, and two, it will take a lot of work from different people and lots of different understandings, which it would just be too complicated. It wouldn't have ended up as fun, is what I'm saying. if you're thinking like, hey, my home D&D game can be an actual play, uh, you need to ask yourself how and why. And I'm not saying that to discourage you. I'm saying it to okay, who are you making it for? Are you making it for your players? If you're making it for your players, great, you can just record it and send it to your players, and it'll it'll be fine. If you want it to be nicely edited and just for your players, okay, sure, do that. That's a good exercise in editing. In fact, that's like a brilliant exercise in editing. You might become a really good sound editor. Oh shit, did I mess up? I want you to make an actual play. I want you to make a really good actual play, and I want you to have all the success that you can get with it. But I also want you to make it well. I also want you to make it in a way that will capture the audience's attention, that you do something new with it, that you create a new language for it, that you create new concepts with actual plays. I mentioned Mozzarella, I mentioned Hard as a Dungeon, I mentioned Game Master Monday, I mentioned God Killer Kismet, which I made. All of them will be linked in the description. How what Grant did with Castaway is so good. One is for a good cause, and two, to make it into a survivor type of show with fictional characters. It's such a good exploration of actual plays, really. And not just Grant, GN, and all of the producers behind the scenes who have done all the work, they have done such a good job of it. If you have any more recommendations of like experimental actual plays that are out there, please tell me. I would want to check it out. I know there's so much more that I need to catch up on. Transplanar really does well with experimenting with their actual play, which I really like. I hope you make an actual play that will blow my mind, that will make me go like, shit, why didn't I think of it? I want you to make a studio actual play which doesn't make you go like, oh, this is a CR Critical Role clone. And good if it is, more power to them, more power to the audience. I can have my own preferences. Just because I'm not into or I don't like a certain actual play doesn't mean that they are bad. Okay? Let me get that clear. Please do not come for me in the comments. I think for this Lego part, most of this talk is just going to be me fixing these tiny pieces. I don't think I'll be able to make a mecha in time. If you can, read reviews, watch reviews. If there are episodes out there with Dr. Emily Friedman about her talking about actual plays, do listen to that, do watch that. I don't know when her book is coming out, but I'm eagerly looking forward to reading it whenever it does. Rage Panda Pajamas really does good reviews, mostly on fundamentals. Subscribe to Rascal News because they have some good stuff coming out. I will be talking to a few creators soon about creating actual plays. I'll be talking to Steve, whose channel I have been on and I have run shit in, that I really want to talk to about, how else can we produce actual plays. Who's also a pro producer for God Killer Kismet. Because, yeah, I have produced those 4-hour actual plays. And I've been nominated as a GM for those 4-hour actual plays. I'm not saying it's bad, because Pantsless Tables, whose merch I'm wearing, because I advocate for them, they do long form actual plays and they do it well. Sure, they don't have the biggest audience, but their audience is loyal. But I'm saying is like even Pantsless Tables could experiment with actual plays and find new ways, make new language for the people to explore. I don't know if you can see it or not. I love Ninjago. Let's actually get this shit done because I really want to finish this. Actual plays. It can be educational, not just about the gaming system that they're using, but also about topics that you might not understand clearly or really clearly. But when you're playing through the game and you're watching people play through the game, you're able to glean on, oh, that's what that means. Oh, that's what techno-fascism means. Things like that. So in that regards, actual play
becomes a great tool for education as well. I know other people have different takes on it, maybe better takes than mine. I'm just saying what I know, and what I know is not always the full picture, obviously. I want to know what's your take. I believe actual play can be used as a way not just to teach people about games or not just to tell good stories, but as an exercise where cultures meld. Not meld in a way that you stereotype them, but also meld in a way that you appreciate each other. And what's the best way to appreciate each other more than fiction through a real life experience? I mean, like, I've thought about it. And that's why I love watching actual plays. I especially love actual plays with a non-white cast. I mean, like, nothing specifically wrong with having an all-white cast, but it doesn't do it for me anymore. I watched Critical Role. I'm okay with it. I'm like, okay, sure, you do you guys, but I'm gonna watch these other people. Okay, there's a piece missing. Is there a piece missing? Isn't this supposed to be blue? I do believe that the actual play landscape will change for the good, and I seriously believe that. And I want to be around for when it happens. I want to be a witness to that because I think it'll be great for the whole community. I know we always talk about, oh, there's this new game which is revolutionizing TTRPG experience. How do we revolutionize cinema? How do we bring about an experience for the audience that, captivates them in a way that no other piece of media has captivated them before? I mean, look at what Sinners did for people. With the little actual play that I made, God Killer Kismet, admittedly, not a lot of people watched it. I mean, like the viewer count for the pilot episode currently sits at around 440-ish. It's not a huge number by any means. I mean, there are so many channels which get thousands and thousands of views on their flagship actual play, and it can't even compete with, it's not even in the same biosphere or in the same atmosphere as something like a Dimension 20, and to that effect, not even something like a little less mainstream like Theater of the Unaligned or High Rollers DnD, even though I do consider them mainstream. But it still inspired a few people, which was, I was flabbergasted. I was so hyped. Like, the thing that I intended with, it had its effect on at least one person, that they got inspired to tell a story via watching my story or watching how our story was told. I mean, that's what I live for. This part is, I think, done. The crunch sound is so good. How do you think that the actual play space can benefit? Do you think a new format is needed? What other film language what's the film language for actual plays? What's the language we use when we describe certain things? Is it the same as film? Scenes, acts, cutaways? Is it the same thing? Or I don't know what are those terms that we can invent. Maybe somebody else smarter than me can hopefully do that out of their own choice, that is. What I think of what actual plays could be completely wrong, and you would laugh at this video. What does he know? And that's true. What do I know? I am just a guy on the internet who's trying to run his YouTube channel and make something interesting for people. Might not be always correct, but I always have ideas. We are almost there. Are these legs? Fuck! Where was it supposed to go? Got saved. Well, this part is ready. There are conversations happening actually in the online spaces about actual plays and how things are changing, what people are exploring. I don't know actually if I can contribute to it, but if I do, hopefully it's not a shitty thing. I don't know. I really want you to tell me what are some good actual plays that I should watch.
Don't tell me to watch the 3 or 4 hour actual play. I don't have the time to watch those. Even if I break them into chunks, into like 15-minute or half an hour chunks, I can't watch. It takes too much time and effort. Maybe I'll put some of them sometimes in the background while I'm doing other stuff. Like I've done that with LA by Night, which is a great actual play. Thankfully, they usually don't run over 2 hours, which is great for me. But that's not always the case with even good actual plays. Like sometimes they run over 3 hours, 4 hours, and sometimes they have like 60 episodes, 70 episodes. Like I would need some serious commitment to actually finish them. Even watching at 2x, you're gonna miss a lot of things. I mean, like you can binge Supernatural and you'll get a whole story in 45 minutes. But even at 2x, it'll still take you a couple of hours to go through, I don't know how much time, a few hours of game time for an actual play. If it's a battle episode, then 1.5 hours to 2 hours goes just in battle, unless it's like edited. I'm not able to watch those. I'll maybe watch an episode because a friend recommended it, because a friend's in it, but usually I'm not able to sit through those. Even with Dark Waters, which I love, but I don't know the entire story unless somebody tells me that. And then I watch like an hour of the stream while I'm doing other stuff and I'm listening it. I know some of the context of what is going on. So sometimes I'm lost. Like, huh? Because it's hard. It's hard to follow. I'm not saying like Kismet was easy, particularly easy to follow. It's not. A lot of people would rather listen to it, you know? They don't want to sit and watch an actual play with subtitles on, but that was the point. I wanted them to sit and watch the actual play. It's not something that to be listened to. Maybe that's why it got less views. Maybe that's why it did not reach a major audience abroad or even in India, obviously. I don't know the exact reasons. I'll probably have to do some soul searching on this. Well, Kismet didn't fail. Let me be clear on that. Kismet did not fail in my eyes. It did exactly what it had to. It got to the right people supported it, the right people watched it, the right people really, really liked it. And I love that. In my eyes, Kismet is a success. In other people's eyes, it might be a failure. They might be right, considering it, Kismet did not succeed actually. It should have, by a certain metric, it failed. And I could be like, yeah, sure, maybe it did. But I liked it. I like making it. I'm proud of it. It's currently my magnum opus. Magnum opus, is that what the term is? I just know that people liked it. Likewise, some actual plays which I did not particularly enjoy, other people might. They could be right there as well. Like, hey, Aman, you're wrong, and that's fine. It's art. It's subjective. You can agree and disagree on things which are good or which are not. I don't particularly care. If you don't like a lower level adventure, you only like to play level 20. That's absolutely fine. And if you think low level is shit, sure, for you it might be. For me, it's low level D&D adventure is amazing. It's the best. Goes here. That's a small ass arm. Did I put it the wrong way in? No. Oh, and he's gonna sit. I shouldn't be missing pieces, you know? Okay. How do I then... Oh shit! There's actual ammunition! There's actual Lego ammunition! Holy shit, I did not know that. Okay, let's keep him here. My boy, you need a sword. Oh my god, this is so cool. I love Legos. I'm so happy I can finally afford some of them. I still can't afford, the big ones. Okay, I'm done.
We're done. Woo! Woohoo! I'll see you in the next one.